Happy New Year, Bottom Nation. Thanks for being here. I hope you're taking a restful day. Hope you're feeling good. If you're on the YouTube, go ahead and share your New Year's resolutions in the comments. Super helpful for engagement, but also just a sense of community. And maybe if you're on the Discord, let's get some New Year's resolutions going in there as well. My New Year resolution for Maddie is to eat more pussy. And for myself, oh man, maybe I should put this in the gay thought. I'm going to put it in the gay thought. This week, Jaye McBride returns. One of our greatest stories of all time. If you haven't checked out that episode with Jaye McBride and the mechanic, go check that out. But this time, you ever get into a situation where your friends are like, no, they're into you. And you're like, are they into me? Well, Jaye has a hilarious example of that on the pod this week. Patreon.com/WHGS to support this podcast. It's really helpful. We do cameos and shit. We have live streams. We have bonus episodes. And all you have to do is give $1, and that really, really helps. So we're trying to beef that up right now. Patreon.com/WHGS and AshleyGavin.com to sign up for my text alert. I am coming to Salt Lake City, Boston, Portland, Maine, Madison, Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Calgary in Canada. Whoa, boy. Miami, Phoenix, all kinds of places. I hope you can come and see me live. It is way more fun than a podcast, I think. Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Have a great week. Happy New Year.
Right after I transitioned, there's this one, a trans man. We were hanging out all the time just because we were good friends. And someone's like, he's seriously into you, right? I was like, no, he's not. Then someone else said the same thing. And I'm like, no, he's not. Look, we hang out all the time. He's never made a move. And I was like, no, he is. You need to make the first move. So I lean in. And he's like, whoa, I just like you as friends. And
No. Good for shooting your shot, though.
Right.
Was your friendship still cool afterwards?
No.
Oh.
We've already expended a lot of energy because we nearly killed Jaye literally as soon as we sat down.
The
Jaye
shelves are a
slammed
real
her
liability.
head into the shelf. And at this point, Alex, it's your fault. We need to put tape on this shelf. She hit the shelf, and then the tour board came and crashed on her head. And then
I had left coffee on the table, and I was worried that I ruined your laptop.
and then the board bounced off of your head?
Yes, it bounced.
Off your head.
Jarring several letters off of the board.
Yeah,
But
everywhere.
that's just good physical comedy.
Yeah.
I think the H is embedded in my skull, and that's why we can't find it. I think it's like I can feel a bump under the skin.
And then it hit the coffee, and then we had to clean up the coffee. And really, honestly, all of this comes down to Alex not putting foam on the fucking shelf.
Or maybe...
No, blaming Alex feels very...
Well, plus the marble's
blaming
loose.
the middle class for wealth inequality.
That's right. Plus the marble's still loose, too. So knocking...
Oh, it was loose?
The marble's loose?
Isn't it? No, my head's just really, really thick.
I guess
All
if
right,
you
never
really...
mind.
I'm honestly impressed by your head.
Thank you.
No.
That's what he said.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotcha. I see what you're doing there. Said no one ever.
I'm sure your head is amazing, Jaye.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Wait, really? I have this theory that everyone thinks they're good in bed.
I just assume I'm terrible. I don't know. I don't know. All right, I've had very few sexual experiences. I think y'all know. I think we covered that last time.
But don't you think it comes more from a place of enthusiasm? I'm not sure. No, I have. Okay.
That's why I'm terrible.
Wait, can I ask? I'm sorry. I don't know. Are you dating guys? Are you dating girls? Are you bopping around?
I'm pretty open to anyone. Like, I don't know. Like, the problem with dating someone who would date a trans person is they're usually really annoying.
I feel that, dude.
Right?
I
Really.
feel that.
Oh, that's falling.
Like, I'll date anyone with
the merch started to fall and it moved something else.
Bottom Nation?
Bottom Nation was moving and then it pushed this and everything
man.
is going to fall on your
All
head.
right.
But that's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I feel like I will date any gender, any age, but if they use if you're one of these people trying to make unhoused a thing, that's it. unhoused,
I know
unalived,
there
any of
is
the others. I'm like, no.
This is a great
nope,
clip,
nope.
just by the way. I feel exactly the same way, and I've been trying to write about this, and it's just like, sometimes I'm like, am I even gay anymore? Because like I just want to fuck a bro.
Right, I think I turned into Bill Maher. I don't know how that fucking happened. No,
Because it's just sort of like straight people are gay now. Like there are straight people that are gayer
There's so
than
much
I
like
am.
infantilizing around it,
Right.
where I'm like, bro, I'm like an adult person.
Yeah.
Like I don't need this weird. Like you're great. I'm like, suck my dick, dude. I'm fine. I'm chilling. But I just want to be. Yeah, it's weird.
But that's the type of relationship I want to be in. I want to be with a woman whom I can say "suck my dick, dude" to, and that's like that's the vibe that we have together.
Yes, like go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Suck a dick.
Yes.
Go, any of that shit. I just like, I don't know what it is. And like, I think so many people are like, I'm an ally. And then, in 10 years, they're going to marry a Chad hedge fund manager. And like, and it's just like, just stop. Any of those, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I am excited to see where some of the younger queers end up. The queerest people, like, are they going to end up married to that Chad guy?
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean? It sort of feels like there's actually being queer, and then there's like the movement around and the culture around queerness, and then there are the people who are straight but like engaging with that culture. Do you know what I mean?
Well, in some ways, I felt like that was a little bit of an obstacle for me to queerness, because I was like, well, I don't really feel like part of that culture, so I must not be queer. And it's like, no, I am. The only thing I have in common is that I'm queer. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. There is this thing, it's like, do we have a culture, or do we just have like a sexuality and like genders and stuff like that?
It's almost
very
like queer
interesting.
pride. Yeah, like gay pride parade is like gay men and straight women.
Right.
Like really, and I feel like, and it's just like, all right. I just feel like weird that I don't fit in to the queer community in a lot of ways. It feels like.
I think that, and if you're worried about what you want to talk about, I think that's something that so many people feel.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why people listen to this podcast is to feel like a sense of community in a way that, it does feel like there's a little bit of a queer off,
right?
Just people,
good old fashioned queer off.
Two queers like reaching for their strap-ons, like just shaking until someone yells,
"It's the good, the bad, and the unfuckable." That's what this.
A tumbleweed rolls by, but it's a drag queen's wig.
Yeah, well, we're in the apartment. We're having gay sex. We're having gay sex with incredible comedian Jaye McBride. You have a special out on Netflix that was produced by Amy Schumer. Am I
well,
getting that right?
I have a 7-minute clip on Netflix.
But I don't even know what people are calling these things anymore.
I know, but I did release my own special on
On
YouTube.
YouTube,
But
okay.
it's like, is that?
Yes,
It's
that's
almost more like a
special.
vlog. If it's on YouTube, it feels like, is that what is it special?
Yeah, of course. My special's on YouTube.
All right. I stand corrected.
No, it is funny that the career path now is we all have to be like YouTubers who tour. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a YouTuber.
Girls who
so
code,
bad, and now it's
YouTubers
like,
who tour,
yeah. Now it's like, congrats, we're YouTubers.
comics who vlog.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's weird how the like comedy has just changed so much. I mean, if you think about like 20 years ago, like where like if you were on Conan or Letterman, like that made your career. And
Yeah.
like
So crazy.
like before that, like Carson, forget it. Like you would be touring arenas the next week.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Meaney or like Louis Anderson. They would all talk about these stories about how like they would go on Carson and then immediately they would just everything. That was it. Then the TV deals would roll and everything else. And then now it's like, what's the point of going on the Tonight Show?
There is none.
You
That's
know?
why I
Like,
stopped.
really?
That's why I stopped
It's
applying.
like,
Yeah.
it's like I can get on better bar shows.
Right.
Literally that.
the audience is pretty bad.
I
honestly.
did JFL and I was like, this has really been helpful for me getting on bar shows in Brooklyn.
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was just
saying,
shitting on the audience at. Well, you know what's interesting at the Tonight Show? I thought you meant like bar shows are more fun to do, and they
Oh, no,
kind of
no.
are.
I mean, like the street credit gets you is like.
yeah, and even that I think is finally starting to wane. I think a little bit because people care less and less. Yeah, it's really like what you need to do now is, you need to have 1 billion views across all your clips.
Right.
And I'm not being hyperbolic. I mean, like,
right.
You know,
Yeah.
1 billion.
Yeah. And it's just odd. It's a very weird business. That's all, you know?
Yeah, it's hell.
Yeah.
It's
And
hell on earth.
it's if you just want to be a comedian, it's almost like this is the wrong business for you in a weird way, you know?
Yeah.
Like someone actually asked me for advice. They're like, I'm a trans comedian. I'm really trying to get into like all the clubs in New York. I'm like, why? You know, like really, like you could
Start a YouTube channel about
yes.
your experience as a trans person.
You could do, yeah,
and you'll sell more tickets that way.
I think so. I think if you had a TikTok channel and if you never set foot in a club, you could become successful.
It's this weird,
probably easier. Actually, it's probably an easier path.
but then
to some
there's
extent.
the balance that once you get there, you have to be good.
Right.
Well, and even that is debatable now.
Right.
Because the people going, they've never seen comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like you just have to be good enough for them to come back.
Right.
It is killing the art form, and I'm a part of it.
Right. Me too. 100%. And I mean, I still feel like I've been hosting more at the Cellar, and I feel like I actually really love what I'm doing. You know, which that part's great. But then anytime I try and think about like, oh, what should I do for my career for the next step? It's like I don't know that I want that. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know that I want to perform in Madison Square Garden. You know, or
I've been
headline,
having the
you know,
same-
stuff like that.
I've been having the same thought where it's like it's all like it's always posed as like the goal is to be like Kevin Hart, like you
Yeah.
have to be this, and it's like there's like working class comfortable comedians making like $200K a year, which is like more than enough, and it's like you feed your family, you go on the road, you tour. That's not a failure. Like that's a great success.
Right.
And it's a great life. And it's like not like the only way to do this is to be like a mega star doing arenas. And I've thought about that more and more too, where I'm like, I would love to have a
I
relative.
think the path is the same. I think those people now have to be online.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't think we have to be so I don't know. I just think that's a great life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
To just be a touring person who's just known by your people is like great and does clubs and that's awesome. And it's like I think it used to be like, oh, that's a step towards this thing,
Right.
and it's like it can be.
Well, not to sound like, but there is now I'm going to sound like an ass, but now that I've done bigger theaters, there is a point where it's not comedy anymore. There is a point of the size of the audience.
Right.
You've done
arenas and stuff.
you've done
right?
like
Yeah,
Hulu
I've done,
Theater at
Hulu
Madison
Theater,
Square
Madison Square Garden,
How many?
5,000.
5,000 seats.
Yeah.
So you know, like it doesn't feel your style. You are like, you know,
Right.
set up punch, set
Right.
up punch, set up punch. And I imagine you felt what I felt, which is, oh, sometimes it's actually too fast.
Yeah,
For this environment,
100%.
you can't get every laugh that you could get in a club because the laughs are coming in 20 seconds after you say the joke and in this like big
Right.
yeah.
It's definitely not as fun from a performer standpoint, and I don't know that the audience has as much fun, especially I can't imagine
I
like
don't
a
think they do.
20,000 seater, like you can't even hear the joke. You have to hear the
That's
speaker,
insane.
and you're looking at the TV.
Yeah.
That's like a split second behind this.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not as like that boggles my mind that someone would want to see that. But there are like when I was on tour with Amy, we played a couple clubs that were just like I think Austin City Limits was one of the ones where that was absolutely phenomenal and it was amazing, and that wasn't nearly as big as the Hulu.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
so-
It's like
it-
I
yeah.
would pay more money to see Dave Attell in a club,
club,
than I would
yeah.
in a theater. Yeah,
So
it's just
intimate.
like there's some people who it's like, oh, but like John Mulaney or someone, it's like, oh, that makes sense that you would be this bigger, like Sebastian Maniscalco or something.
Yeah.
But it does make sense that it's like certain performance types lend themselves to certain
It's-
venue sizes, and that's where I'm like a Doug Stanhope or something. I'm like, that level is fucking awesome.
Right.
I will say that this is going to sound so obnoxious. I'm pretty performery. I'll use the whole stage. I'll
Yeah.
like run across it. And I love that. But there is like, if I had to compare my last show at the Denver Comedy Works, which was just like some of the best shows I've ever, this past weekend especially, like was some of the best shows that I've done in my life, to the Neptune, which is an 800 seat theater. Like they both, I don't know which one was better but once it gets above that, once you get above 1,000 seats, it's just like, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
the
And,
same.
and the Comedy Works is an amazing club.
I mean,
Like,
it's
just
just
insane.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Do you have like an ideal level of like fame or size or scale that you'd want to hit? I hope it's not like putting you on the spot, but
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like in terms of comedy, I don't think I'll get there in comedy alone anymore, which is fine. But I mean, like comedy writing, I would rather. I actually, all right, this is gonna sound like a plug, but you can't buy it yet, so it's not a plug. But I just published a comic book that I like wrote.
Oh,
and
congratulations.
illustrated.
So cool. What
Yeah,
is it about?
that's so
I think
sick.
I brought one. Hold on, for you
When
guys.
is it coming out?
But it's out, but it's not for sale yet.
Well,
for
what
you.
can
So,
people-
but
what
if
do you
guys
mean
wanna
it's
Oh
look
my
at-
God, I saw this at the cellar. I was wondering what it was like on the table, I think.
Yeah,
Just so people
yeah.
can see it.
Yeah, so it's I wanted to do a superhero story of a trans person, but not make it like the way everyone else does it, where it's like, oh, my life is so miserable being,
Yeah,
I wanted her to have personality besides that,
This
so
is
that's
incredible.
That's so fucking
Can I take it out?
Yeah, you can have it. You can have it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, of course.
Can we put
of
it up
course.
on
I
our
might-
little?
Hold on, you want one?
Oh my God, I would love one.
If you take it out, it's gonna lose its value.
Yeah, I have two
It's
left.
mint condition.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
You don't. Are you sure this is okay to?
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Like I'm gonna take them on the road. The back
This
cover
is
is
so
actually
fucking cool.
that's the place where I printed it. So
Oh, it's so
oh,
cool.
wait a second, that's not mine.
What?
This is someone else's.
They put the
fucked
cover
up.
on it?
What? Let me see what the inside. Yeah.
They printed someone
Holy
else's
shit,
book.
They
look.
took the trans out of the trans comic book.
Whoa.
It's like she transitioned
Weird.
back halfway through. That was
Printed
holy
in
shit,
Florida.
Look at this.
That's so weird.
Look at this.
Is this the right
Like
one?
this part right here is not it, but everything else is.
Well,
Is this correct?
This is probably worth more.
You think it's
That's
an ad
so
for
funny.
like another?
yeah, give me back my misprint and sign it. Sign it now.
That's a good drag name, Misprint.
Miss. That's an awesome drag name.
It's a good dyslexic drag name.
This is incredible.
Oh well,
This is
thank
so
you.
cool.
But like,
Congratulations.
oh, thank you.
And it's
thank you. What's
beautiful.
that?
Written and illustrated
Yep,
by
yep.
yours truly.
Yep.
That's so sick. Wait,
Well-
and also, can I ask
You
you?
illustrated it?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
That's
what,
so
I mean,
fucking cool.
I
God,
started,
your headshot is so great
Oh,
too.
thanks. Yeah, I started doing it during the pandemic, and then I just started getting better and better, and eventually I'll get to that point. The artist,
I gotta be honest, the straight versus queer straight is winning. I'm sorry, guys.
Wow.
Sometimes.
Right.
Well, is this what you made before you transitioned?
Right,
Because
right,
man,
exactly,
you were way
exactly.
better at.
Yeah, back when I had balls.
Yeah. You should consider going back maybe.
That's-
Because men, everyone knows it's men. Comic books are for men, by men,
of course.
superheroes. So maybe consider going back.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't hurt my dating life either. So it just all around comedy, I'd be better. Everything.
So were you a long time reader and enjoyer of comics?
Wait, can I get one more riff in?
Yes.
And if you were a man, you could still do the trans jokes, and people would love them.
That's right. Because that's the one good
You
thing
would never
about
change your act at all.
the one good thing about being the one good thing about comedy is every straight guy can have a take on being trans, and they're all the same.
And they almost talk about it more. It's
every
insane.
fucking comic.
I know Alex has a question, so maybe get that in. But I will say, I just watched a bunch of comedy specials by a bunch of people because I'm working on this new cohesive piece that I'm really excited about. The number of male comedians that bring up being gay in the first 5 minutes of their set or have some kind of gay joke within the first 5 minutes of their set is astonishing. I would actually say it's probably one of the most popular opening topics in
Really?
existence. I mean, all of them. All of them.
You mean like recent ones?
Yeah, recent ones.
Jesus
Shane Gillis
Christ.
has a gay joke within 5 minutes of his opening bit.
It's funny because it's a bunch of stand-up comedy is the perfect like petri dish breeding ground for that because it attracts bro-y guys who really want to go into the arts. So they're on stage at a theater talking to their boys. So they're all like, I got to address it.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely, I have not, obviously I haven't done data collection around this, but I was pretty astonished that for all they say about gay people doing all this gay material, it is a very frequent opener.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like there's some like I feel like a lot of comics, male comics, really wish they could still say it. You know, like I feel like they miss it so much.
That's what kind of what my opening joke
Oh, really?
is about, is saying and the way men laugh at it.
Yeah.
And it's this thing where it's like you can feel the desire and the relief in me saying it for them. It's a lot of fun. It's like they've been holding in a all day.
And it's as close as they get to the N-word.
It-
You know, it's really like, that's it.
Sorry. I never thought about it that way, but I think you're right.
I mean, like, because, no one, if you can't say, I know some white people have said the N-word and like.
But in the hierarchy, it is absolutely.
That's next in line.
Yeah.
That's the next one.
Yeah.
That's the next to become the F word. Well, actually, I don't know. I guess is probably.
Yeah, we might have to bleep that.
No. The word like like the R
Yes,
word.
yes, yeah.
people would say like you can still say. You can't really say.
Yeah, it's in a similar.
What's next after that, do you think?
I think it's yourself.
Yeah. What the? That's so fucking weird.
I know.
I can't believe this
I'll
unalive
myself if that
thing.
happens.
It's this unalive
No.
thing is annoying.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like why?
Well, it's so weird because I think it started because the algorithm censoring.
Yeah.
You didn't want the video to get
But
flagged,
then
but then
it
people talk like that in real life, and
but-
that's so weird.
But then it reinforces this thing that this is a trigger. The reason these words are slurs is because the word itself targets a group of people who that word has been used to marginalize them.
Yes.
The word itself is triggering because of its use.
But I think
There's
with
no-
suicide, it's different though because margins are on the side, and when you yourself, you're underground. So it's sort of like a different axis entirely.
Yeah,
You're like vertically marginalized.
yes,
like,
yes.
Into the dirt.
so marginalized you're on the Z-axis.
I feel like
axis.
I feel like
I guess you're on the Y-axis. And that
Yeah.
might be a question you're asking yourself. Why?
I think there's some like
My ex.
yeah. My sex
Better
life.
take some Z's. Okay, we're done. We're done.
No, I think like how many like when I say to someone like go yourself, I don't mean like literally like you should go murder.
No one means it that way!
No one fucking means it that way.
No one.
And like that's why I like comics so much for the most part. Like I'll talk about the dirtiest like I talk about suicide attempts or something like that. There's one time I was talking to these comics. I was at a table and something came up in my past. And I was like telling them this story and I'm like, by the way, you guys, just so you know, I was molested. They immediately said, "Yeah, I figured." And I'm like, "Of course." And it's like,
But the thing that I think is different from slurs to any other language is any other language could trigger someone. Anything. I rarely talk about this, but I was sexually assaulted. And this is a long story, but it was on a plane and this guy offered me these cookies. And I wasn't going to take the cookies. I'm okay. I wasn't going to take the cookies, but then he goes, they're gluten-free coconut cookies. And for some reason, I was like,
It would be so funny if you're so liberal that that's where the story ended. You're like, and that was sexual assault.
and so I ate
I'm
them
so
and
sorry.
they had drugs in them.
on the plane.
On the
Oh my
plane.
God.
And I don't love talking about it. But yeah, when I would never, if I am a little reminded of that when I see or hear about gluten-free cookies. But I'm not going to run around. No, laugh. It's funny.
It's just because you have such a really real, genuinely traumatic, like horrible, I'm so sorry for that reason
Yeah.
to say I'm triggered by gluten-free cookies.
But yeah, like most white women, I am triggered by gluten-free. I'm not. Sorry, that would be regular. That would be regular cookies, not regular. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it reminds me. Now I've done a lot of work to get past that. But like, you just don't know what's going to trigger a person. And I understand that people think, oh well, there are certain phrases, and it's like that's kind of dangerous, dude. It's kind of dangerous to you're really putting the impetus on other people rather than owning your own shit when
Yeah.
you say a phrase triggered you and therefore that person shouldn't be allowed to say that phrase. Whereas slurs are in their own historical category. Is what I'm saying
And
making
there's
sense?
no separating it from the hatred and the yeah.
And some stories are without a doubt triggering for sure.
Yeah.
And that's different. I feel like if someone posts like, by the way, I'm going to talk about my sexual assault, that definitely could trigger a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that I 100% understand it. But if you're just like talking to someone the way, and like you say go yourself, but not mean. I just it really bothers me. It really bothers me when someone's
It bothers me as well,
offended.
Jay. I'm not really sure that you're clued into my history here, but it bothers me a lot. Oh, did you not hear? Let's move on.
Is this better than the cookie story?
It's I
Wait,
got.
oh my God. Oh, do you not know?
She doesn't know.
Oh, that's
crazy.
hilarious.
I got canceled for telling a woman to herself on stage.
You were on stage and you just said go yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's how you talk. You've told me to go myself twice, like since we've been here. But so how?
Yeah, and then I slammed your head into the show. Well, as I do with
Wait, did
all
I know
trans
this?
women on my show
How long ago was this?
over the summer.
Yeah, like July.
Jesus Christ,
I'm okay. Yeah.
that's fucking. God, that's annoying. I'm sorry.
No, it's so funny. I thought that's
so
why you were bringing
fucking
it up.
annoying.
Yeah. But
It's so funny
anyway.
that happened organically. That's how genuinely everyone does it.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It is a genuine part of our vernacular.
Yeah.
It's a part of our
Yes.
vernacular. It's slang.
Yeah, I mean,
Also, I say it to myself when I'm like walking around my house. I'm like, stub my toe, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking myself.
right? Yeah, me too. 100%. 100%.
But anyway, Alex, what were you gonna ask? What were you gonna ask Jay? And then I'm gonna get into my gay
If you
sets.
were, a big comic fan, if you grew up reading them, if you had a particular inspiration for
Well,
media.
I really did. I did read comics growing up a little bit. I think one of the first ones I ever got was Spider-Man, and I thought Spider-Man was such a cool character. It's this dorky teen that no one likes, but then he gets these like superpowers, and like even though he can't tell anyone about these, it's just like it's like as a dorky kid myself, I was like, oh, that's awesome, and yeah. Then I read other ones too. I think it was Alan Miller, his or not Alan Miller, Frank Miller's Batman was great. Alan Moore's great. Yeah. So I love comics now too. And I don't know. That's the first time there's a trans person introduced in a comic. It was like this whole story arc where she's hiding it and then she has to come out. She's like, I'm trans. And there are like tears streaming down her face. And I'm like, that's the worst fucking representation ever.
I totally.
Yeah. Because when bad things happen to other superheroes, like Batman doesn't cry. He like
Right.
Batman had a pretty traumatic situation and
Yeah.
he never cries about it.
Right.
He just kills people.
Right. He unalives them.
He unalives them. Yeah. What is like the synopsis of your?
Well, it's basically like it's sort of a take on that whole like chosen one trope, like someone's chosen to do this. Like Superman was like a new hope, so they sent him to the, he was the one that they want. What if someone chose a child's to be like this like savior, but then they grew up and they transitioned, so and it confused everyone because it's supposed to be a boy and no one knows what to do. So it's that it's sort of a take on that, and everyone's just like, well, hold on, what's going on? This isn't right, But yeah, so it's and there's a little bit of stuff where she had a shitty childhood, but it's not. I'm being trans is not like, oh, I'm so. If only I weren't, it's like she's never the one who brings
It's
it up.
good because the transness is inherent to the story, but it's not necessarily like a negative.
Right.
It's not the origin story. It's
yeah. There was this X-Men character. I don't remember who it was. It was either Quicksilver or Cannonball, one of those two. I can't remember who came out of the closet. And like there was this one issue where like 4 times in the one issue he talked about how he's gay. And it's like, do you need that? It's like
there's a shot of him like punching someone, and like, by the way, I'm gay.
right.
If I
Hey
weren't
girl,
punching you right now. Yes.
sashay away, queen. And it's just like that sort of stuff is just so annoying to me. I don't know.
Well, I think that's really awesome.
Yeah,
Should
I
we-
really killed the conversation with comic book talk. Thank
No,
you.
no, no,
that rocks.
No, I think it's amazing.
Did you go? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut
go
you off.
ahead.
Did you go to like art school?
No.
You're self-taught?
Yep.
Wow,
That's
That's
crazy.
so sick.
Yeah, and it was as hard as it was to draw. It was almost just as hard to learn like Photoshop because you're using a tablet that's down here, so you're drawing down here while looking up here.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah. That is
it's almost like stand up. It's almost like I meant to ask you this when you talk about how you use the whole stage. Like when you perform, I feel like it's different than writing jokes. Like telling jokes is one aspect, but then you have to learn how to perform too. And I almost feel like that's just as important sometimes.
Yeah, I'm one of those comedians that's like, it's both. And that's why one of my favorites is Wanda Sykes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I feel like the writing is so incredible, but the performance is also so incredible. And they feel like inseparable from one another. And I was like a performer first. Like I grew up acting. I acted as a child. So that part of it was like pretty organic for me. But then you like get into really technical stuff where it's like your face, you know, watching tapes back of your face and like almost like acting stuff where you like watch tape back of your mannerisms. Like I do this thing sometimes where I go when I'm like unsure about something and I'll be like, oh my God, I love that. Like now every time I'm about to say something like kind of offensive, I'll stop and I'll do that or, you know, like using clicks and snapping and stuff like that for enhancing a punchline. Like I'll just watch tape back. I love that. I love that.
I feel like when I first started, I would barely move like on stage and I would slouch a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
And then like, you know, and I always just like cower almost a little bit.
I kept the mic in the stand for the first year I did stand up. I never even took it out.
Oh, wow.
And actually the first time I took it out was when I was talking about, I tried to write some jokes about what happened on that plane. And I got just really angry and I pulled the mic out of the stand. And that was like one of my first times like really yelling, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That was big for me. Like just pulling the mic out and just yelling about something.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, since we're talking about trauma, I'm going to tell you what brought up the thing about me being molested before. And it's another thing that just like, I'll make it into something in a second. I found out he's actually a like...
You don't have to turn your anything into art right now. You can just
No,
speak.
that's what I'm going to talk about. Yeah. It turns out, like I was...
It's better have a good punchline at the end of it.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm going to kill.
It honestly...
It's got to unalive. This bit's got to unalive.
It better.
Dude, I unalived in there.
I just fucking unalive that shit.
But the idea that if you don't turn your molestation into a joke, what was it even for?
That's what I was going to... Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And I started to realize after this, like, maybe I don't have to talk about it on stage, you know. But what happened is Larry Nassar was stabbed in prison, which thank God, good. Hopefully
Did he die?
I don't think so, but hopefully he'll come back every day and get stabbed again. But I was like, oh, maybe
for reference, Larry Nassar is the doctor who molested the gymnast, the U.S. Many
dozens and dozens of them.
Yes,
But anyway, so I Googled the guy who molested me, thinking like, oh, maybe something bad happened to him. I'm like, oh, this would be great. Yeah, I've never done that. And it turns out he's a child photographer. Yeah. And then I went through this whole thing, like calling different police, calling the SVU department, I made 6 phone calls before someone would finally take me seriously and look into this. But anyway, and so that just brought everything back. And I was just thinking like, you know, and someone's like, oh, you know, how do you turn your trauma into a bit? I'm like, I don't, you know, like I don't want to talk about this on stage. You know, I want this motherfucker to die. I want him to be arrested. And you know, but it's just like,
yeah, sometimes you don't have to.
Exactly.
Some things I think there's a reason I've never joked about this on stage.
Right.
Like I couldn't find anything funny in it.
Yeah.
I talk about my dead father constantly. Because I think with my dad, like, I've mostly processed it.
Uh-huh.
And I think there are some things, like, I don't know that I'll ever really process.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I it's up to the artist to figure out what things they want to share and what they don't want to share.
Right.
You know?
And it's just, I think something about comedy, you get so hungry to write a great new bit. You're like, what could I use? What could I do next? You know, and I tried doing a couple things, and then like, oh man, you think you had a bad summer camp? And I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, I don't need to do this. And
yeah.
So that's what, like, when you talk about your story, all I could think of is like, you know, and how you got so angry, and it's like maybe you can say it in a way that's cathartic, but it doesn't have to be one of your bits. It doesn't have to be funny, and you don't have to do it. Maybe you do it once, and then it feels good, and then you never do it again.
For me, it was the gluten-free. Obviously, the gluten-free coconut cookies are just like, there's just something inherently hilarious about, like, you know, just being this white girl on a plane. And I'm like, I don't take food from strangers. They're gluten-free. Okay. Like, that's funny.
That's funny.
But it's not
Absolutely.
enough to build a bit off of. You know what I mean? It's just not enough to build a bit off of.
Yeah.
So, Anyway.
Yeah, and it's probably not worth getting drugged. And never mind. Yeah. Like when you go through the whole like.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just not worth it.
Listener, one of the best ways to support this podcast is to come see me live, okay? It's a really great way to just support the whole team and everything that we do here. So get on my text list or my email list. It's international, both of them. AshleyGavin.com. Go sign up, and I'll literally text you when I'm in your area. So you don't have to hear all these plugs. You can skip right by them. Don't even worry about your city. Just get on one of those two things, and I will let you know, okay? Because there's a lot of cities coming, and I just remaking this announcement over and over again. We all think it's annoying. You do. I do. Get on the text list, you piece of shit. Well, this week, I mean, we've talked a little bit. I don't know. Should I do my gay sex story?
Sure. Go ahead.
I don't really have much. I was going to talk a little bit about. So I have I have a girlfriend, and I have not formally announced this. I think most people just know we're planning on getting married.
Oh, nice! Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. She told me when I'm allowed to propose.
Aw.
Because we were talking about allowed. That's not. She told me when the doors are open. We were talking like, how long an engagement do you want? And I was like, I don't mind like a long engagement, but I was surprised to hear from her that she was like, oh, I'd like to like have a shorter engagement. Like I'd like to get engaged and like plan a wedding. And I was like, okay. So then I'm going to wait a minute, before I ask and stuff like that. But the thing that I've always said on this podcast is I would never after my last relationship, my rule is that I don't introduce a girl to my family until I'm like, this is the one. Because
wow,
I have introduced so many women to my family, and they get upset. They get upset when we break up.
Yeah.
It's emotionally
If
charged.
they like someone, I'd be like, oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
and they're like, well, now I'm friends with this person,
Right.
and I can't be friends with them anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's my whole thing. So Jen will be meeting my family soon. And isn't it crazy
That's
that
so exciting.
she hasn't?
That is
That's
crazy.
awesome.
In a weird way. I've met her family. She doesn't have that rule. And at a certain point, our families will be meeting each other. And for the first time in my life, I'm doing Thanksgiving with another family.
Aww.
So I'm
wow.
going to her place, which felt huge. But then I thought I would tell this story of the times my mother very reluctantly met the families of my two ex-girlfriends, which I thought was pretty funny. Because the first time, I don't know, have you ever had a family of someone you're dating, like, meet your family?
Everyone's met everyone's family, but I don't know if the families have ever met. No,
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever had that.
You ever had that?
No.
No. So when I was in college, my mom was dropping me off at school, and we needed to go, and my girlfriend at the time, you know what, I'm just going to tell one, because there are two stories. I was 3 years older than my girlfriend that I dated in college. I was a senior, she was a freshman. I really thought we were going to break up at the end of my senior year. We did not. And I was too much of a pussy to say, I really thought we were going to break up. So we dated for 6 more years.
Whoa.
Wow. That's
I had a hard time getting out of relationships. But no, I loved her, and it grew, So, but my intention was to break up with her at the end of senior year.
right. Then I was like, well, maybe grad school.
But finally, when she graduated, at the school that I went to, we throw these garden parties, they call it, because I went to a women's college, traditionally very wealthy, like the Rockefeller kids went to where I went to college.
Goddamn.
And it was more, it has all these traditions that are sort of rooted in like, not even like academic, like there was a shift with women college. It went from being like a place where you just rich people send women because the boys were at, you know what I'm saying? And then they shifted into academic institutions. So we had these garden parties.
Like the 1920s, like, hey, fellas.
Yeah,
Want to know what to say your women? Send
Yeah.
your women too?
Like
There we
when
go.
women's gymnastics was like this. Like, have you seen that footage?
Exactly.
These dames are single, and they know how to cook.
Exactly. So like, anyway, we had these garden parties, and I think it rained, so we had to move all of the stuff into you have a garden party, and I think you would call it your flower girl. I can't even fucking remember, dude. But we had to move all of her stuff.
Gay.
Yeah, very gay. Into the cafeteria. And I knew that her family was coming, and my mom was there helping me. I don't remember exactly why my mom was there, but I think my girlfriend at the time maybe invited her to the graduation, or God, I don't even remember. But my mother is quite literally helping me decorate this Alice in Wonderland themed garden party for my girlfriend. And we were hanging mushrooms, like big mushrooms, from the ceiling. And my mom knows that we are about to meet my girlfriend's family, who hates me because I'm gay. And
They know you're dating?
They know we're dating, but they think like I turned her gay. So my mom is downing tiny airplane bottles of whiskey. Just fucking chugging. And we're trying to decorate. And I couldn't get this rope over this hook in the dining hall. So I attached this nail to it to give it some weight. And I threw it up over, and I hit my mom in the fucking nose.
No.
I know, with the nail. She was fine. Thank God, she was fine.
It was like me hitting this shelf.
Yeah, it was.
We're both fine.
Everything is going wrong. My mom is injured, possibly brain injury, and just absolutely inhaling whiskey. And we finally meet the other family. And it was just the weirdest experience
Your
of
mom
my...
just drunk and bleeding. Your daughter is always gay. She was born like that, and I was born like this.
I guess this is not that great a story, but that was like the circumstances the last time that I met a fucking family.
Damn.
Yeah. It was just so weird. I mean, they were perfectly nice to us, but they didn't engage us very much. We were like these two pariahs. You know what I mean? My mom's like drunk and like just trying to get through it. And we're just like, and her family's big. And I don't know, man. It was it was really rough. It was really rough.
Damn.
But anyway, not the best gay sex story from this
No, that's a good
Well,
story.
this week.
It's a good story, though.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I guess I have to ask, did you have gay sex this week?
No. I don't even have to think about it. Like you could have said, like, since the Bush administration. I'd be like, no. Which one? No, nothing new. No. The only thing, I don't know if I told you this story. That was like one of the last. Like I was right after I transitioned. I was, hanging out with a lot of people, hanging out with a lot of queers. There's this one, actually, a trans man, and we were, we were hanging out all the time just because we were good friends. And someone's like, he's seriously into you, right? I was like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Then someone else said the same thing. And I'm like, no, he's not. Look, we hang out all the time. He's never made a move. And I was like, no, he is. You need to make the first move.
That's really funny. That's just really funny.
Yeah. So
that's really fun. Like, come on. That's
right?
so great.
Isn't that weird? But anyway, I know it's like two socially awkward people. But so anyway, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make the first move.
No, I just love that probably from birth you were socialized to make the first move.
Right.
He
but
wasn't, and now you guys have to trade places.
Exactly. No, exactly. So anyway, he goes to drop me off after we're hanging out, and so I'm like, all right, I'm making the first move. So I lean in, and he's like, whoa, I just like you as friends. And I was like, so, yes. So then from that point on, I'm like,
fuck your friends.
I'm like, you know what? I think I need to trust my gut more. And I've been single ever since.
Fuck your friends.
Yeah.
Why did they think that
Yes.
he was into you?
I know.
No, but I'm asking genuinely.
I don't know why. They were like, I even reached out, just like, you were way the fuck off with this. And they're just like, oh, jeez.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's the only story I could think of that was
Did you
not
feel
as
good
good as
that-
the mechanic story.
No,
from
the
last
mechanic
time,
story is like
but
epic.
that's all I got. Yeah, that I thought was interesting.
I was gonna say like, good for shooting your shot though,
Right.
because at least you like got rid of the thing.
I shot my shot.
Was your friendship still cool afterwards?
No,
Oh.
not at all. Yeah, it was very weird. Very weird. So, yeah.
Did it just fizzle?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I was like, I'm never calling him again. You know,
How-
I was like, I'm too embarrassed.
How
and
was
he
your?
was
What
like,
was
"All
the
right, that's
move that
weird."
you made? Did you lean in for a
Yeah,
kiss?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my favorite move when I don't
It
know
was
what's
actually the hand to the crotch, like
Like a hawk.
right. Just like,
Making that.
that's my only move.
I was gonna say, I think whenever I'm going after, have you ever made a move on a friend?
Not counting me.
No, I've not when there hasn't been some discussion first, but I've a lot of times been in a situation where there's been discussion first of like, hey, we're both kind of feeling this, right? And it's in the air, and then I'm the one to like break the tension. But I've never had the balls to like out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I don't know. Have you?
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that I usually do is because I don't want to make a physical move for fear of what you just described.
Right.
And
right.
here you are today with us, alive,
And scarred
scarred, never going to make the first move again.
ever.
Oh, man, it's so embarrassing. Alex, have you ever made a move and it didn't go?
With a friend or just anybody?
Just anybody.
Never overtly physical, I feel like. I don't know. Never like a kiss lean in.
Never a kiss.
I've always I've just been asked just like, can I kiss you?
Yeah.
I've done that.
Have you
but-
gotten a no?
No, I haven't done it often. I've done it like twice.
Okay.
And it was like going very well every time. So at least.
Okay, all right, Alex, put the mic
No,
down.
just those two.
No,
times.
shut the fuck up. I like do similar. I'll always say if I don't know, like, because you were in a situation where your friend was a trans man. Did you know if he was like if he was pansexual, like who he was into?
Not really.
Yeah,
No.
that's like part of the hard part. A
And
lot
I'm pretty
of
sure
times.
he married a woman later on. So
Okay.
I don't know. But
but you're like, yeah, I never spoke to him again,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
really have no idea.
I don't
He
know.
blocked
It's
me on
hard to see him
Instagram.
through the smoke of all the burnt pictures. No, it was sort of like I'm sure we're still
someone's
Facebook friends
calling.
or something. But
Okay, guys, I unfortunately have to take this.
okay,
Hello.
And here we see the lesbian comedian in a critical part of this organism's life cycle, taking a 7-minute call on freezing her eggs during a podcast. In this pivotal stage, the ecosystem is thrown into disarray. Deprived of their food source, aka internet clout from telling vagina jokes, the remaining comedians are forced to find nutrients however they can. They whisper ASMR into their mics, only to find that nobody can hear each other's cries. The alpha lesbian drowns them out. Its ovaries are simply too massive. At their wits' end, the other pitiful comedians are forced to find nutrition from the most depraved food source, deep-throating objects in the room. A cruel and deviant punishment. If you encounter a lesbian comedian in the wild, for your own safety, do not ask it about its bloody eggs.
Take care. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us?
I had to take that. This is about my future children. I'm freezing my eggs.
This is about your current child, the podcast.
That'll be funny. We're gonna have to cut that down, obviously.
No, we leave it all
play
in.
without sound.
And then Alex, if you don't,
You put it
Fast
like-
forward to Benny Hill music.
yeah, like Charlie Chaplin, like did it, and it's
Alex-
black and white, and it's
Right.
us just.
if you don't mind narrating, what were you guys saying when I was on the phone?
I don't know what
We can hear each other.
Yeah, Alex is the only one who had
Yeah.
headphones, so we were just kind of whispering into the void.
Yeah.
What did you whisper?
Maddie had a pretty fun, probably
I
a
don't
pretty
remember
funny
what
comment that it's funny. This is the first time you guys take birth control.
I
Oh
know.
yeah, you probably thought you were gonna go
Yeah.
your whole
You're
life without
not
having to take
unable
birth
to
control.
I'm really not looking forward to it. I gotta
It
say.
made me suicidal.
Great. It made you unaliveable.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Sorry, I've just been trying to reach
Of course,
them.
of course.
no,
I figured. Yeah, I
totally
figured that's what
understand.
it's about. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise that would. But did you guys hear? I have higher than average, whatever.
That is very
Oh,
cool.
OMA,
Cool.
OMA,
AMH?
AMH.
I don't even know.
Nice.
I thought it said ovarian something something, so I thought it was OMH.
Oh, maybe. Well, anyway,
Congrats.
that's my gay sex, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Any updates for us, Maddie, on your gender or your dating journey?
Oh boy. Dating journey. I'm on Field now. I will say I had a lot of chats going. I genuinely just have not had the time to go on a date because I'm like just
At the
busy
cellar,
at
yeah,
night.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And it's like, all right, that's a fine problem
Well,
to
listen,
have. But
I am like, what are you doing Wednesday?
Wednesday, I think I might be at the cellar. But
Do you want to go to the woods?
at some point I would want to go to the woods. But I will say the update I have though is that I'm learning. Hinge, I was kind of like feeling it out, whatever. Sometimes I match people. Field, weird little bisexual guys in sweaters. I am cleaning up.
They're cleaning up, Maddie. Do you think they're really bisexual? I've been hearing there's some false bisexual activity in Bushwick with men.
But I hate to say it, that might just be my guy. Every man I've seen lie about being bisexual, I'm like, God damn it, if you didn't hit the nail on the fucking head. No, but I was actually like, damn, I'm actually kind of have found my little niche. So very
you gonna
exciting.
find his niche?
Field is fun. Wait, can I show you my Field profile?
Yeah.
Because I think I made it appropriately slutty. I don't want to put this on the camera,
When you
so I'll
said
try
the
to
woods,
not.
did you mean like the woods, or like is that a bar or
it's
something?
a gay,
Oh, okay,
it's
never
gay
mind.
bar on. It's a gay bar on Wednesday nights only.
Gotcha.
Okay, let me know what you think.
Okay. Yep. So right away.
Thirsty.
Yep. Pretty
That's the sluttiest picture I have.
big on intimacy. I hate you.
It's true.
I know, but I don't like a sincere profile. I don't know why.
But on Field, it really is like list your kinks. What kind of
Okay.
sex do you want to have?
Oh yeah, I guess
and I
that-
don't
yeah,
want like
yeah,
anonymous
yeah.
sex. I
guess
need
that's
something.
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, like titties for sure, big
Titties
time
for
titties. It does look like you're about to blow somebody,
Thank you so much.
Yes.
and
100% POV
yeah,
action.
very POV. Here we go. Cute. You look cute. Yep.
Did you take those like today?
No, I just wear the same outfit all
Okay.
the time.
You
I'm like
really do.
Truly like a cartoon character. It's really
you have
good.
like 1,000 of them in your closet.
No, I just wash them like every day.
That's sexy.
Thank
you
you.
look good.
Thank you. So that's the Field. We went a little sluttier, and I will keep you updated on that. I am talking to this person. I'm not going to say it
Can I see?
on here, but I'll show you.
I'm proud of you, dude.
I am talking to this person. So it's going okay.
All right. All right.
Whose name is just a very specific sexual request.
Can I say it? I don't see why it would be a
It's a
big
code
deal.
word. Isn't it all code words on Field?
Yeah, I guess it's
You're not
anonymous.
showing his face.
Yeah, his name is Peg Me.
Uh-oh.
And
Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
yeah, okay,
This-
we have to make sure that doesn't.
That ruined my day.
Because you're not into it?
He's pretty cute.
He's
Maddie.
really
He's
cute,
very
right?
fucking cute.
See, that's what I'm saying. Field, I've found my little niche because I'm really not. I haven't really been dating. I haven't really been like. I mean, one, I've been busy, but I've also just been like, if I don't have an emotional connection with someone, I have no interest in just like whatever. But yeah, really cute.
On trans
No, I'm
dating
sure you and
sites-
Peg Me will get along.
Right.
Thanks.
Right. On trans dating sites, like guys will, they might say like, I'm a top and a bottom, but they're all bottoms. Like 100%. Everyone. Without
Would you
fail.
say you're more a top or a bottom?
I'd say I'm more of a bottom,
Yeah, me too. If I had to pick one for life,
especially if like I didn't have to move. That would be perfect if I like didn't have to move or do anything. That's my sweet spot.
Just
With my
horizontal.
orthopedic pillows.
Well, I think this was an episode.
this is great.
That was bizarre, everything that we
Yes.
just did.
Yes.
And I apologize. But thank you for doing prop comedy. This is a good one for YouTube. And Alex, if you don't mind narrating what's going on a little bit
Okay.
when you're in the edit,
Okay.
get creative. I don't care what you do.
Okay.
But I do want the people to know that I have above average whatever.
Yes.
The people need to know that I'm
What if it's-
fertile.
That's
as
the
think
fuck.
they-
closest thing you can get to like bragging about like a big dick.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
I have so many fucking eggs, dude.
My eggs are healthy. Well, I don't really even know that.
That's the least surprising thing though about you, honestly. Like,
Really?
I would have predicted.
You think I have good egg energy?
Yeah. Big,
Hell yeah.
big,
Good
yeah.
egg films.
Good egg
Right,
films.
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's get them out.
It's weird that they have to like do so much to harvest them. I thought they just shoved in a needle and pulled them out.
No. You gotta juice them because they
Gotcha.
take out a bunch at a time.
That's what I mean.
because
That's
only
what-
one follicle will make the
Right.
egg, and you gotta juice them.
Right. Only one comes out at a time, but I thought they were all just like sitting there and they was like,
No, you gotta like make them grow.
I'm picturing like caviar, like a caviar
Yes,
spoon.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tiny caviar.
they
spoon.
use like a miniature cracker.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a Bellini. They got a Bellini going in there. All right. Well, what do you want to plug?
I'm good.
Should we plug the book?
When does the comic come out?
I don't have a link to it yet. It should be out
But
soon though.
where
I should
should
have
they
a link.
follow you?
I'll tell you what. Follow me on Instagram.
Great.
JAYE.McBride.
Beautiful. And I'm on tour, and you're on tour. Maddie T. Wiener.
Maddie T. Wiener, Phone is in the Bag podcast. I have a mailing list at my link tree in my bio.
All right. Bye-bye. This podcast cannot exist on ads alone. We would be losing money. So please, patreon.com/WHGS, $1. It's so much more than just listening to those ads. If we did that, we could get ads. We could get rid of ads entirely. It would be great. And we would never have to stress about it again. Anyway, gay thought today. Jen, do you have any gay thoughts? I want to do a whole thing about prioritizing my health as my New Year's resolution. But I feel that if I say that, then I have to stick with it. And first of all, talking about it feels vulnerable. And also sticking with it feels insurmountable. Do you have a New Year's resolution?
Get cast in things. I don't have much control over that, though. So, also insurmountable.
Do your dreams feel insurmountable? Write in, listener. That's how we're doing over here in the Gavin Davis household. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope to see you at a live show. Happy New Year.